Welcome back, everyone. A little tilted there. Alright, so for tonight's video, I kind of wanted to go over something a little different. I know I'm more of a learning channel, uh, teaching people how to play the game, how to better themselves. I thought I'd do something interesting and talk about the characters that I'm looking to play competitively for the next cycle, I would say. This is something I'm planning to do between after I've had the most recent set kind of cool for me, I'd maybe pick 5 or 6 characters that I think I'm going to be playing and focusing on competitively. I call it my competitive stable. Um, Granted, I'm not going to be able to play in any big events. The next big regional I'm going to is going to be in Louisville in July, and the character I'm playing for that regional isn't on this list because he's not out yet. But I figured this would be kind of an interesting thing so you guys can kind of see where I'm at mentally, like where I think some really good characters are, or just kind of a fun insight and maybe you've never thought about these characters before. So I'm going to kind of keep it a little loose. I think I've got 5 characters, maybe 6. I think I have 6 characters to talk about. The first is going to be Allura Visorin, Arcanist of Taldore. So our Allura is a 6/28 mage, chaos, life, and void. Enhance twice per turn, remove 1 action from your card pool, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Very strong enhance. You can use it offensively and defensively. And the response commit 1 foundation. After an attack is played, seal it. Your next check to play a card gets +3. Incredible defensive ability here. I am a control player. I love decks that give me the ability to play offensively and defensively and just switch between as needed, and usually just bide my time until I've got my positioning correct. And Allura definitely does that. If I had to rank these from 1 being like the one I'm most excited to play and 6, I think she's number 6 for me. But she's still really, really good. I like that one of my main tricks is to use Fortitude of the Armor Titan on my rival's turn, which is an action that says enhance your rival's checks to play attacks, or your rival's attacks get +1 difficulty for the turn. And since it doesn't remove itself, I can then remove it and add the top card of my deck to my momentum defensively. So it's kind of like breakering all of my rival's attacks, and I think that's a really strong ability when you can then seal 1 and give +3 to your check to block. Her main issue is trying to figure out how to kill people. Getting all this momentum on the Chaos symbol, obviously you have cards like Walk the Dog, you have cards like Armor of the Wolf, and even action cards like Surprising Strength, which can net you a momentum and add itself to your momentum, so it kind of fuels that fire too, while giving, no, it doesn't add a card to your momentum, but it adds itself to your momentum and it gives your attack powerful or EX, so speed or damage depending on what you need. So really cool. This is one of the characters, I think one of the 2 or 3 characters in Critical Role that I'm really focusing on, like nailing down a competitive style build for. And like I said, since I'm not going to like a regional, these will be more for like local store championships and maybe like a store scramble or something like that. I think scrambles are usually going to be like Spotlight. Anyway, so the first in my stable here is Allura Visorin, using my actions very defensively and just finding a way to kill people by dumping a whole bunch of momentum. The next in my stable is... where is she? Vex'ahlia, Protector of the Wilds. Vex'ahlia is a 6 hand size 29 health character, Hunter, Vox Machina Warden, Air, Earth, and Life as her symbols. Enhance once per turn, you can build 1 ally asset or ally backup from your card pool. If you did, and it is your turn, draw 1 card. Really good. And then response, flip 1 foundation. After your attack, ranged or weapon attack is not blocked, unflip 1 foundation. So she's got the Warden Earth, flipping and unflip synergy, and she wants to deal with weapon cards or ranged cards, and with that building an ally asset and backup. Main ally assets and backups are Jarrett from Critical Role, the 4 difficulty backup, and Trinket, the 2 difficulty asset. But my whole goal with this deck is looping Jarrett and playing Storm of Blades, or Storm of Arrows, and just playing, 10 attacks in one turn. Because if you block my attack, if I play an attack and you let it go for some reason, then I play Storm of Arrows and you don't block it, I don't have to use Jarrett. Then I can use Storm of Arrows to sack my other ranged weapon attack that I just played to echo it. And then if you block the echoed attack, I can Jarrett. And Jarrett activates on block when my attack is blocked. And then I can add the blocked attack back to my hand before it flips, so then I could play another ranged weapon, build Jarrett down, play Storm of Arrows again, echo Storm of Arrows again, and each time you're not blocking, if you're blocking, I'm picking up another attack to throw. If you aren't blocking, I'm gonna flip and unflip the Earth package that's gonna let me draw cards, or it's gonna let me commit your foundations. So it's really something I want to nail down, probably on the air symbol, with like the Earth and Life attuned stuff, so I can flip and unflip. She plays the Life Outwit card that after you take damage, you outwit to gain 2 health. So there's a little bit of a healing package there too, with that and the unflip to gain 2 health, or after you flip a foundation, gain 2 health. So she can keep herself healthy, and she can throw just a billion attacks if you string it right. Again, she plays Walk the Dog, she plays Storm of Arrows, and her own ultra rare that auto builds Jarrett or Trinket in from the discard pile is also ranged and weapon. So it works with that Storm of Arrows package. So really cool character. I really like all of the moving parts. I love moving parts decks. They're so fun to interact with. Easy to get tripped up, but I think it's worth it, and she's one of the ones in my competitive stable until Attack on Titan Apocalypse in May. And then we'll see how the stable shakes out after that. Quick shout out to Beauregard Lionett looking for a brawl. She's not in my competitive stable, but I did use her to to go undefeated at my locals. And she's just the starter deck Beauregard, so people would consider her to be like lower power. She's got some moves if you're willing to put in the time. I'm just saying, she's kind of fun. Who was next in my stable? Number 3 of 6 would be Sam Rutherford, Devron Racer. He's a 7 hand size 21 health character with the Inventor trait, Air, Order, and Void. And he says, as a static, your tech attacks get +2 speed. Blanket +2 speed on any tech attack is really, really good, especially if you're playing a whole text package. We have an enhance once per turn, end the enhance step, saying that we're done when I say we're done, so your rival can't get all of their big, like, combos going is really powerful, especially since he has a foundation that flips that says when your rival plays an attack, you get to play the first enhance. So I can end the enhance step before you get to play anything. Very powerful combo there. And then as a first form, if your rival has 8 or more ready foundations, you get to draw 1 card and your rival has to commit a foundation. So if they had to take a turn to pass and they just built up, you get to be an 8-hander for the turn and force them to commit 1 foundation. That +2 speed really boosts cards like Patchwork Babies, which is a tech. We just got a whole bunch of tech support from Percy and Tarion, which both have the order symbol and the air symbol, but mostly you're going to be working on the order symbol because that's where Patchwork Babies is. You have the Inventor's Creation, which can remove Patchwork Babies and basically become a 4-low-4 stun 2 powerful, I think it's powerful 3 EX3. So just a 4-low-4 copies of Patchwork Babies that just doesn't get the other enhances. All while you're adding just a blanket +2 speed to everything, which can make things really difficult for your rival. There's a lot of stun in the tech package. There's Charged Alien Sploof, which is his ultra rare from the Challenger series. Hello, Sam. That says, as a blitz, if your rival wants to play any enhances, they have to commit a foundation as an additional cost to play those enhances. And then it gets +2 damage for each tech card, for each other tech attack in your card pool when you play it. So it gets blanket +2 speed, forces your rival to commit down if they want to deal with it, and it gets big damage. So just having the ability to turn off enhanced steps at will, plus the blanket speed, plus all of the cool things that the tech package already does, I think this is going to be a really fun character to look into. Alright, next up. I didn't want to make like just a deck list for these, where it's just the deck list with the characters, so we're just going to scroll through here and look at all the cool characters. Next up is Martial Law. Let's get a better look at him. So Martial Law. He's one of the Tekken promo characters. 7 hand size, 19 health character. Fire, Order, and Water. He's got the Brawler art, keyword, which is important. Response. After your rival commits 1 or more foundations during the enhanced step, this attack gets +1 or -1 speed. Response. After you commit 1 or more foundations during the enhanced step, this attack gets +1 or -1 damage. So this is a great stun character, because while you stun your rival, your attacks are getting speed. It's a good anti-stun character, because as you're getting stunned, your rival's attacks are losing damage. But it also works with, on 2 of Bo's symbols, we get Brawler support, and I'm playing him as a punch deck, because I love, I play him on Order with Master of Drunken Fighting from the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament set. It's a foundation that says enhance commit, your rival commits a foundation. So that's +1 speed and damage or -1 speed and damage. And then I play, the Attack Titan's Haymaker, which is stun 2, which gives me another speed and is hard to block on its own. I play June Kazuma, I think is her name, June Kazuma. She has an Order punch package from Tekken, and the ace card is repeated 100% smash, which can ready 1 foundation that hasn't been readied this turn for each punch in your card pool. So you just play this, ready 3 cards, and then you can force your rival to commit more cards with Drunken style fighting. And because you're a brawler, you get access to Precise Footwork, which is a water attuned foundation that says enhance your punch, kick, or slam gets +1 damage for free. And as a brawler enhance, this attack with a printed difficulty of 4 or less gets -1 speed for free. So if your rival's not playing Godzilla, and they are playing some like 4 difficulty attacks to try to string out, you're just getting so much free speed hate defensively on this 7-hander. I've tested him out at my locals a few times, and there's several times where just it takes a game and a half before someone takes their first point of damage on me, because I'm either reducing the damage to 0 or I'm making everything so slow that I'm always going to block it. And it's really strong, and you can get so much damage because it's like, oh, I commit this attack, this foundation for +2 speed. Well, I committed a foundation, I'll respond for +1 damage. Or I'll commit this card for -2 damage, and then I'll get another -1. The Endeavor card. There's an Endeavor foundation where he's like holding up his arm. It's enhanced commit for -2 damage, and then Tenacious, you can remove it for -2 damage. That one card with Law is -5 damage on a single attack at the cost of 1 foundation. It is ridiculous the amount of defense this guy can play, while also just really putting on the offensive pressure when it counts. It's a very good, like, one of those back and forth control style decks that I love so much. So Law is definitely on the books. So we have Allura, Vex, Law, Sam. There were 2 other characters I was looking at. Let's see if we can spot them, shall we? Oh yes, Godzilla. So you guys will by now have seen my last week Wednesday's video where I played a backup-centric Godzilla with Knockdown Blow. That is definitely on my radar. What started as a proof of concept for a dumb idea and a bad way to play Godzilla made me excited to play a character that I considered kind of boring. Even if he is a meta powerhouse, he is kind of linear. Um, and he locks you into like 5 difficulty or greater moves, so you kind of have to play City Rampage, and it's just Godzilla does Godzilla things. It's kind of boring to me, and I always kind of try to steer away from more meta things because I don't want to play what everyone else is playing. I want to be kind of unique, which is kind of my downfall for the most part. But playing the backup shift attack Godzilla was so fun. I literally felt like I was unbeatable for that tournament. Uh, it was a power trip. It was really fun. So I am uh, collecting more pieces for it, and I'm gonna work on refining this Godzilla, this backup emerge victorious Godzilla build, and he's in my stable now for a while, at least until something happens to him or City Rampage. Because I don't think anything else in the deck's worth touching. But it's really good and it's really cool. So, yep, that's enough about the big lizard himself. Oh, I should go over what he does. He's a 6 hand size, 34 health character, giant and monster, with chaos, earth, and water, going off the chaos symbol, obviously. As in static, my attacks with a printed difficulty of 5 or greater get plus 3 damage. Every shift attack is a 5 or higher difficulty, so they'll always get plus 3 damage. Enhance, spend 1 momentum. Your next check to play an attack to play an attack or a block gets plus 2. So solid defense. Also, just very solid stringing my offense together. In my first run, I did not have a lot of momentum generation unless I was playing a Colossus Titan attacks, which as a blitz just nets me 2 momentum for free. So unless like a knockdown blow hit or an emerge victorious somehow hit, I wasn't getting a lot of momentum. So I would look into maybe some other ways to get momentum in that deck if I wanted to do that. And then this first form, once per game, I commit him, discard 4 cards, destroy all foundations, only playable if there are 10 or more total foundations in all stages combined. But this doesn't destroy assets or backups, so I am able to keep my backups like the Smiling Titan attacks. So when it turns into a shift backup, I can nuke the field and then commit. So if my rival had a way to maybe play an attack for free, I could keep that around to take that hit for me. Or if it's my Jaw Titan attack for speed, or my Colossus Titan to just rip cards from my opponent's hand later. It's really a really powerful deck, and it's really cool. Sean Gilmore is amazing in this deck because he just commits for +2 to my next check to play any card, either attack or block. So to nuke the field and keep that around, it's ridiculously fun. And seeing Godzilla reminded me of who my last one is, because it's kind of a similar style, and that is Elder Toguro. So I'm going to say it right now. I was on backup Elder Toguro before we saw any of the Critical Role stuff. So all of this Grove Keeper's Authority, Elder Toguro, machine gun him down with Death Rattle. Before we saw any Critical Role previews, I was already running this style of Elder Toguro deck using Duplicitous Recollection to lock my opponents into a Smiling Titan prison. So every turn I would play Duplicitous Recollection to build in Smiling Titan, so they'd have to attack it as their first attack, and then it would die, Death Rattle would activate, and I would loop that every single turn, so that between the incredible amount of defense I'm able to play, plus they have to sink 1 attack into Smiling Titan every turn, I lock them in this infinite prison of you're never going to touch me and you're just going to burn yourself down. So I just wanted it on the record, and I've got locals that I was talking to about this before we went to Nationals, because I was playing Elder Toguro with a more combined firepower centric idea, and like the day before we left for the Nationals, I thought if I only had the Beast Titan Secret Rare and the Beast Titan attacks, I would totally build the backup Toguro for Nationals, but I didn't have the pieces, and I didn't have any credit with Rochester in which to do that yet. So I just wanted to be clear. I was ahead of the curve. I was ahead of the curve on that one. I'm not just following in everyone's footsteps with the Grove Keepers thing. And honestly, I don't think you need Grove Keepers authority. It's cheeky and it's fun, but the way I'm playing it, I'm not just playing the Grove Keepers. I am playing like a couple of other big 7 diffs and shift attacks. So it's just not as useful for me and for my playstyle that I'm playing it. So if people want to jump on the Grove Keepers bandwagon, that's fine. I will not be doing that. I think my slower burn control style of build is much more my speed and much easier for me. But I've loved Elder Shiguro ever since he was previewed, and I've just been every set trying to work on the build I want for him and what I think is going to really work for him and fit my style, because he's so open-ended. As a 7 hand size 20 health character, Death, Evil, Life, Team Toguro, form, once per turn, discard any non-foundation card, choose an attack in your discard pile, and play it as your next form. That's really strong. And then enhance, switch this attack speed and damage. If it's your rival's turn, you have to sacrifice a foundation. I was using that to trigger the Death Casino pieces like I'm With You or the Smiling Titan Foundation that removes to flip a rival foundation. And that would trigger combined firepower. So that's how I was playing my deck at Nationals. But I realized before we went to Nationals, I could pitch like Titans on the Move, or Titans Under Orders, the 3/6 that commits for -3 damage. Pitch that to play the Beast Titan Secret, and then build in the backup I just pitched. I basically just played an attack and built a backup for free. And with the crazy amount of defense of all of the minus damage on my backups, and then I could swap that to make it minus speed, or I could just take no damage. And then when those backups are out of stamina, they get sacrificed, they get destroyed, and then Death Rattle goes off. And now you have Nymph's Invitation, you have... there's another one that can reduce the stamina of your things, but I mainly use Nymph's Invitation to pop my weaker backups, or backups that I can just immediately build back in for not only +3 damage, or 30 speed if I need it with Elder Toguro swapping speed and damage, but then I get the Death Rattle burn. So I play this much more control style variant instead of just trying to machine gun Grove Keeper's Authority and Death Rattle machine gun you to death every turn. Like I said, the Grove Keepers is cheeky, but I really do like the defense that some of the Titan backups give me, as well as Duplicitous Recollection looping Smiling Titan every turn. I think that's a very powerful defensive and controlling gameplay, and that's absolutely what I'm here for. I'm going to lock you in this prison with me, and only one of us gets to leave at the end of it. But yeah, Elder Toguro, Godzilla, Allura, Vexalia, Martial Law, and Sam, Devron Racer. Those are the 6... okay, Fresh Cut Grass I do need to look into. But those are the 6 characters that are currently in my competitive stable that I'm looking into, at the very least for local competitive play, not really the fun competitive play, because I'm going to use my fun time to start practicing for Louisville in July. And I know you might be thinking there's a whole set between now and then, plus the Challenger Series between now and then. I've decided I want to make top 16 at Louisville, so I'm going to start training. I'm going to start practicing, because I feel the best way is to get in the right headspace and know absolutely everything I can about my matchups and my game plan. So I'm spending a lot of my time for the free play just kind of practicing with that deck and that character. And for more competitive style builds, like for the local store championships, so far these are the 6 characters that are at the top of my list of these are who I want to put my focus on. These are where I want to spend my time. These are the characters I think can bring out the best player in me. Because it isn't just about which cards are the best, or which character's the best, or if I'm the best. It's which character brings out the best in me so that I can bring out the best in the character. It's that kind of symbiotic relationship of they're really setting off all the fireworks in my brain, which can make me draw out their strength. So that's it. Those are the 6. Kind of a different video, kind of rambly. I've been doing that a lot lately. But I just kind of wanted to let you guys get a little glimpse into how I view things kind of competitively. I don't want the channel just to be like deck profiles. So I thought some of this kind of commentary stuff of how I approach the game could be helpful. Have had some players tell me, like some newer players that I met recently at Nationals, tell me that they've learned the game from watching me. And I feel that telling you guys how I approach it and what helps me become a better player, maybe that could help you. I don't know. I don't know how you all learn. There's like 200 of you out there that are subscribed to me, which thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. Um, so yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough and taken enough of your time. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like and let me know in the comments if this kind of content is helpful or tickles your fancy. Just this kind of competitive insight to the mind of the Mad Hermit. I'd really like some feedback if you guys could help me out here, because I've been kind of floundering on what to do for content lately. But yeah, so if you'd like to see more stuff like this of just me talking about competitive ideas or, you know, some sleeper characters I think are being underutilized, just let me know. I'd really appreciate the feedback. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd greatly appreciate all the help I can get, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care, guys.